Well, joining us now, Democratic strategist Dave Jacobson and Republican consultant John Thomas, our wise men back here with us. Thank you so much. Dave, let me start with you. Do you share the Clinton campaign view that there's a double standard at play here with Comey when it comes to Clinton and Trump?
Absolutely. I mean, this is totally unethical, and James Comey is really politicizing the office. I mean, it's unprecedented. We've never had a law enforcement entity like the FBI put their thumb on the scale of a presidential race like we've seen in this race. It was unprecedented that he even made a comment about an ongoing investigation back in July, and now he's doing it again last Friday, 11 days before the election. And I think this represents a real double standard in the way that the FBI is handling this, because they're not talking about the investigation into Donald Trump's campaign's possible connections with Russia, whether it's Donald Trump himself or his former campaign manager, Paul Manafort.
The problem, though, for Democrats is back in July, Comey was a man of integrity. He was incredibly high ethical standards, and, hope his family was watching his testimony because they'd be proud of him. And now he's the worst guy in the world.
I love how the pendulum swings.
Yeah. That was
a week or so ago, Democrats were railing on Donald Trump for insinuating that the election might be rigged, and now the FBI is rigged. It just depends on which side you're on today.
Do you find the release of the Mark Rich paperwork, does it strike you as odd in any way, the timing?
Very coincidental, I think. And what you have to do is take a step back and look at public records requests or the Freedom of Information Act. We make those a lot in our campaigns. And oftentimes, you're lobbying 20, 30 requests at a public agency, and sometimes timing's worked out where you will get them. I mean, I've received them the week before an election. It's not unusual. I suspect in the presidential race, lots of public records requests were submitted, and this one, it's unbelievable, the timing, but I just don't suspect there's anything there.
Right now, Hillary Clinton and all of her targets are desperately trying to change this conversation. This was Hillary Clinton earlier today.
He calls women ugly, disgusting, nasty all the time. He calls women pigs, rates bodies on a scale from 1 to 10. We just heard from Alicia. She was Miss Universe. Why does he do these things? Who acts like this? And I'll tell you who, a bully. That's who.
And in case you missed the point, President Obama also had a few choice words as well.
By the way, this is not just one tape where he's bragging about how being famous allows him to get away with actions that qualify as sexual assault. This is a lifetime of calling women pigs and dogs and slobs and grading women on a 10-point scale. If you disrespected women before you were elected, you will disrespect women once you're president.
Dave, just like Democrats say the whole email issue is baked into the cake, I just wonder if this whole, Trump's woman problem is baked into the cake as well. We've sort of been there, done that. We've now moved on to the latest scandal du jour.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, women are going to decide this election. Back in 2012, they comprised 53% of the electorate, and so Hillary has to run up the score. There's still a number of women voters who are still undecided. Some of these key battleground states in Florida and Ohio, particularly those two states where Donald Trump is winning in the polling trends. And so I think they've got to run up the score as much as possible with women voters, and this is a great argument to convey.
And John, how do you see it? I mean, the Trump campaign not just trying to double down on the email scandal, but also trying to broaden the map and go towards those blue-leaning states. The right strategy at this point in time?
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is a timing thing. If the Billy Bush tapes had come out on last Friday, the temperament question would be front and center. The FBI announcement has shifted us away from temperament and to corruption as the top issue, and it's an opportunity because corruption disgusts everybody, red or blue or independent, and so this is the conversation they want to have in the final days.
And with that in mind, Donald Trump, at his campaign rallies, he's been hammering this. He also seems almost measured in his delivery. Yeah. Listen to this.
She wants to blame everyone else for her mounting legal troubles, but she has really no one else to blame but herself. As you know, the FBI has reopened its investigation into Hillary Clinton. This is the biggest scandal since Watergate. And now it's been reported that there are FBI inquiries probing virtually all of Hillary Clinton's inner circle.
Okay, 6 days to go. Can he stay on message?
That is the question. I'm not sure, but we did see, they gave another speech earlier today, and he was so measured. Even his voice tone was lower, and it was, you could see he was trying as hard as he can. And is this going to be like the debates where he can hold it together for the first 20 and loses in the last? I think we're going to shift at the end of this week the conversation, as I think we're going to see Donald Trump is going to take a commanding lead in the polls. Then the question will be, what does a Trump presidency look like? And if he can keep it in control until Tuesday, he very well might be the next president.
Dave, is this a case now in the closing stages where Hillary Clinton needs those big-name surrogates out front and center? And do they change the message? What do they do in these final days?
Look, I think they've got to double down on the message that they know that works. They've got to present a character argument and develop a real contrast between Hillary Clinton being a candidate who perhaps has issues with trustworthiness, but at the end of the day, she's going to deliver for children, for families. She's got a real proven track record on those issues. Donald Trump is someone who's a racist, who's misogynistic, who's a xenophobic candidate who really divides people instead of bringing people together.
We should note 25 million people have already voted in this election. Donald Trump appealing to those people who have voted. It's not too late to change your mind.
This is a message for any Democratic voter who have already cast their ballots for Hillary Clinton and who are having a bad case of buyer's remorse. In other words, you want to change your vote. You can change your vote to Donald Trump. We'll make America great again, okay?
Make America great again. Very quickly on early voting, though, the Democrats are in a bit of trouble, aren't they?
Yeah, I think realistically, the argument he was making is not that people are going to change their early vote. I think he's making the argument to Democrats that have yet to cast their vote, saying it's okay to change your mind on Election Day and come vote for me.
But if you look at the trajectory, if you look at the trajectory in the states that matter, let's take Nevada, for example. Hillary Clinton is leading in terms of votes who have cast ballots. With Democrats, they're up 7 percentage points over Republicans. That's a key battleground state. If you look at Colorado, she's winning in terms of Democrats over Republicans turning out, and also in North Carolina.
Though in North Carolina and in Florida, especially among
and a populist wave might not be measured properly in the polls. Yeah.
6 days.
Counting down.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Always appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, Iraqi troops now just a few hundred meters away from entering Mosul in their fight to reclaim that city from ISIS. Right now, they're up against snipers, landmines, and roadblocks just east of the city limits.
Counter-terrorism forces have taken control of the last village outside Mosul. They're clearing explosives left behind by ISIS, and sandstorms are also making the battle more challenging.
CNN's military analyst, retired Lieutenant Colonel Rick Francona, joins us once again for more on this. So, Colonel, we know that the Special Forces are moving in from the east. Where does this go from here?
Well, we continue to see them pushing in, and they've made great progress. I think everybody's really pleased with the momentum that the Iraqi